Can Israel chill for but a moment? It appears another massive explosion has come at the hands of the Israeli government and the IDF, and what do we see? This time in Lebanon, and it was a massive explosion that went viral on social media. Footage of this going everywhere, and what do we see? People asking, did Israel just drop a tactical nuclear weapon on Lebanon? No, no, they didn't. It would have been very easy to determine this, but as we know, people that don't know much about warfare, conflict, or munitions simply see a mushroom cloud from a massive explosion and assume, wow, they just dropped a nuke. No, that is not what we are dealing with, but what we are most certainly having to grapple with is the nature of total escalation in a conflict that we see rising between Israel and Lebanon, and specifically between the Israeli government and Hezbollah. And as we know, with how consistently Israel operates within these nations with a complete and total callous disregard for innocent human life, you can expect that that will only continue to happen. Now let's go ahead and throw it into this footage of that explosion, and then we'll jump in and see what we've got with the chaos that is now rocking Lebanon.
مثل ما هي لايف.
When you see an explosion such as that in the current era that we're living in the region as it was detonated, you need to realize one thing, and it's what it represents. Complete and total escalation, which, as we see with the consistent wave of explosions rocking Lebanon, whether it be from the pager kerfuffle or the fact of Israeli intelligence operations also invading the fact of their communication network, not only in their pagers, but also the walkie-talkies they were using and the power grid infrastructure with the solar panels that they had. This is a wild series of events, and now we see that it's not just the beginning, because it seems we now see a new wave of explosions that are now overtaking Lebanon and costing the lives of innocent people. And as we know, when it comes to the fact of the Israeli government, or any government for that matter, they don't care about innocent human life that's lost. Here we now see from Al Jazeera, at least 38 killed in Israeli strike on suburb in Lebanon's Beirut. Children and women among victims of the attack, which Israel says targeted members of Hezbollah's Radwan Special Forces Unit. Ah, yes. Isn't that something? Once again, we see innocent women and children caught in the crossfire, 3 children dead, 7 women no longer able to walk this earth, and what we realize is the governments of the world will feel no responsibility or sorrow in their hearts, because they don't have any, for these people who no longer walk this earth. And the thing that's so insane about what's been raining down upon Lebanon as of late is that it's not just standard munitions. In fact, it's also things like white phosphorus. Here we see Israel allegedly used white phosphorus munitions in Gaza and Lebanon. That's right, this has been happening, but it's not just recently. This has in fact been happening since 2023. Jumping on, here we see Lebanon says that Israel's white phosphorus use risks civilian harm. Airburst munitions used unlawfully in populated areas. And where is it that these munitions are being dispersed? It's in Christian cities like Jazin. That's right. Isn't that just remarkable? But where are the Christians speaking up about things such as this? No, that's right, because they're Christian Zionists, therefore they bite their tongue because they bend the knee to Israel at every single turn. Isn't that just fucking something? And you see the horrific nature of things like white phosphorus being used, harming civilians, being deployed in civilian areas, and it would just make you wonder, where could things like this possibly be coming from? Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Here we see from the Washington Post, Israel used U.S. supplied white phosphorus in Lebanon attack. Oh, what's that? We know where it came from? The United States? And then the United States and Antony Blinken comes out with this fucking total nonsense about we cannot believe that they would use armaments like this in conflict, and we as the United States and the Western civilized world don't stand for things such as this. Meanwhile, you're quite literally giving them the capability to do these things, knowing that they're going to use it, and then attempting to morally grandstand upon your faux virtue as if the fact that you would have never thought that something like this could ever occur. Absolutely and utterly despicable every single one of these people are. Here we see from the New York Times, U.S. raises concerns over Israel's possible use of U.S.-supplied white phosphorus. The Biden admin said it would be asking questions about reports of Israel's illegally using white phosphorus in October in Lebanon. Israel has denied the claims. Of course, they've denied the claims. Every government will always deny the claims that are being levied upon them if they are violating international law. But of course, as we know, when it comes to the standards of the neoliberal world empire and Israel, international law doesn't actually matter for you because you get to supersede it because you stand above it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. There's a lot more going on in Israel that I'd like to talk about, but we're specifically talking about the nature of the explosions and the evolution of the conflict in relation to Lebanon here. So I'm going to end it. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section down below. Stay lovely, stay great, and most importantly, my friends, as always, go tell someone you love them. Peace out.